Speak Japanese.
This into this.
This into this. You want to mate with animals?
Yes.
This is Animal Avatar.
Disney's not original.
I'm into male beavers.
Huh?
I'm super gay, okay?
Huh?
I know you love my fat. The movie begins with the climate change propaganda.
As the film says, even kids be unknowingly harming animals. But if this is a school classroom, shouldn't there be signs and rules not to touch the animals? Anyway, then we're introduced to the main character Mabel, who's the
Asian. I'll ship you to Bangkok.
Now Mabel's the fraud Asian because what kind of Asian steals animals in class and goes against school policy? So she ends up stealing all the animals and shoves them in her bag without their consent, which is also a form of animal abuse. And also, because she cares so deeply about animals, that means she's vegan, right? Yo, what kind of Asian kid with Asian parents says they're vegan? Have you ever met an Asian kid that says,
I'm a vegan.
ever? That kid's a fraud Asian. Anyway, she gets caught by the janitor and we see all the teachers at school side-eyeing her because they don't like her.
Are you sure she's Asian?
Ew. Hey, I'm a snitch. Really, bro? You a janitor and you care about your job that much? You gonna snitch on a little kid? Shouldn't janitors just be hating their life? So if they even see sus things in school, they just go, meh, I don't get paid enough for this shit and just keep it pushing? Grown-ass man janitor snitching on a little-ass kid is crazy. And the teachers treat her like she's a wild animal, and rightfully so because she starts acting like one as the Asian uses violence and bites a member of staff, as Mabel believes hurting people is okay as long as she helps some animals by stuffing them in her bag. Listen, Asian to Asian?
Dishonor to you, dishonor to your family.
Man, what kind of Asian kid assaults a member of staff in school?
What a shitty Asian.
And we find out why she's raised so poorly because her mom is too busy working and spends little to no time with her as Mabel gets dropped off at her granny's. So the film's trying to say if you have two working parents, then it creates misbehaving vegan kids? Got it.
You want stir-fried egg roll? Go away. This why no one like you. Bye.
Now, my question is, who the hell told her you need to care about animals so much you gotta be willing to use violence on other humans to help them? And turns out this granny a hippie telling Mabel you can feel better through nature and can't stay mad if you feel like you're part of something bigger.
Yay! You hobo? Mm-hmm.
Now, the granny seems chill, and despite Mabel spending a bunch of time with Granny, she still grows up arrogant, rude, with no humility or modesty, and has crazy anger issues. And on present day, Mabel makes sure she's not a walking Asian stereotype in the worst way possible by becoming the most unlikable Pixar character ever. So her granny's dead as Disney pushes the humans are evil because they cut down trees, so care about climate change propaganda. As the city already agreed and decided on building a new highway, but Mabel's annoying ass tries to stop it, being a nuisance to every worker there who has families they need to feed. Interesting how she cares and loves animals so much while having no empathy towards other humans who are just trying to do their job.
Let's die. No underwear.
Then we're introduced to the mayor Jerry, who took the initiative to make the highway to be built over the glade. Want rice?
Of course.
And Mabel being extremely aggressive, yelling, screaming, and being a public nuisance to the city because she cares so much about nature just really isn't what Asians do. You're so annoying.
Yeah, I am.
And this poor mayor's just doing his job to improve and build the city, but Mabel be stalking him to his house, blaming him like he's the sole reason why global warming or animal endangerment is happening in the first place.
This Asian weird.
Now, Jerry says they're building the highway because there are no animals.
No, stupid. Listen.
No, you're being deluded.
Shut up. I'm a sheep.
And turns out there's actually no animals.
Wait, so I am annoying?
And Mabel gets taken by the popo, and Jerry says start a petition and get some signatures, and then he'll hear her out, which is actually very reasonable. And Jerry's only making the highway because everyone else wants the highway. That's why he's on pace to get reelected, because he gives the people what they want. So how's Mabel gonna take it out on the mayor when it's the whole city that wants the highway built?
This Asian weird.
And Jerry starts aura farming, and yo, that blue dial watch looking nice. I wonder if there are any girls on TikTok making thirst trap edits of Jerry. That'd be pretty funny.
Hello? What's your name?
And to no one's surprise, nobody likes Mabel's annoying ass or cares about the glade, so she doesn't get a single signature. You look at his face, he's like,
Get the hell away from me.
even this guy doesn't like Mabel, so he starts moonwalking.
Just a sign here, please.
I can't see shit. And Mabel finds another Asian and spends the entire day with him in hopes to convince him to sign a petition, only to find out by the end of her yapping,
This old man, wrinkle man, has hearing aids.
what you say? And you know what? That's on you, Mabel, for not letting him speak and just yapping the whole day. Because if you actually cared what the old dude had to say, you would have found out about his hearing aids pretty damn quickly.
I hope you die.
Wait. And the old man writes on her petition. Mabel celebrates, only to find out that her ass got trolled. And later, Mabel stalks Jerry on social media, and it's like, why didn't you upload the petition on social media about the glade to get signatures instead of doing it all in person?
How the hell are you, Gen Z?
So Mabel rocks up to college to harass a professor while she's in the middle of a lecture, because again, Mabel couldn't care less about other people. So being a nuisance to others while having a weird-ass obsession for nature and animals is why Mabel's character is so damn insufferable. Now, the professor confirms there are no animals at the glade, and the moment the professor gives good intel, telling her only a beaver can save the glade, that by building a dam you'll have a pond full of animals, Mabel then yaps over her, spewing her own ideas, and ignores the professor, leaving her ass.
She's so likable.
Then buying some vegetables, she goes to the glade and puts a rushing water meditation video on, thinking that's how it's gonna attract beavers. And we get a flashback of Mabel's mom saying you'll have more opportunities if you come with us, but she refuses and says it's because grandma needs me. Which is funny because the very next clip is the granny saying, nope, I don't need your ass at all. As the granny then gives Mabel her jacket and gets her to promise to look after the glade. So essentially this film's trying to say that the granny ruined her life.
Then suddenly,
a beaver shows up and ignores the veggies, which is valid because who the hell likes eating veggies? And then it gets picked up by a mysterious car, so Mabel chases after it. And what's funny is the film expects us to believe that Mabel is just as fast as a car when riding a skateboard. It's like, yeah, I'm sure she is. But then she sees the beaver stand up and goes,
what the?
And finds out that her professor in some no-name university has the technology to allow human consciousness to hop into robotic animals.
I'm stealing this.
You won't.
No way.
So Mabel, being Mabel, keeps being a nuisance to others, thinking she's doing such a righteous thing protecting a beaver when it's robotic. And why is this professor so kind and just tells Mabel everything? Like, Mabel harasses you, takes your life work, doesn't listen to you, and yet you're still gonna explain your entire plan and let her know everything?
Speak a Japanese.
This into this.
This into this.
And we learn the professor's a furry, dressing up as animals in hopes to mate with them, and by employing other furries to help her, years and years later, she now has the tech to mate with animals.
You want to mate with animals?
Yes!
This is Animal Avatar.
Disney's not original. And Mabel continues to rage bait and be extremely annoying, doing whatever she wants with the professor's life's work in her hands. And because she has no care for the people who actually built it, she decides to use it for herself to save the glade. Bro, who the hell does she think she is? She ain't no damn Asian if she's this inconsiderate. And despite becoming a super cute beaver, Mabel still comes across as extremely unlikable. Now, they can track her location in real time, but Mabel finds a button that can turn it off, and it's like, why would you ever want to create a button that turns off the bot's location when a million different things can go wrong as a weak little animal? And by the next morning, Mabel finds out she can communicate to other animals, so she gets all excited and becomes a nuisance to other animals.
Hey, can I touch your fur?
But you have fur. And even the animals can't stand her ass and tells her to piss off, so if both animals and humans think you're unlikable and can't stand you, then clearly it means you are the problem. And guess what she does when she finds a beaver? She orders him around to go save the glade, so he's obviously not gonna listen.
I don't like you.
Then a bear pulls up to eat the beaver, so Mabel uses violence while screaming like a Karen wannabe when she's Asian and stops the beaver from getting eaten.
But I want to get eaten.
What?
Can you eat me, daddy?
Nah, I'm not aroused. Now, Mabel broke pond rules, so she's taken to the Mammal King, and only when she's in trouble, she contacts the professor. And I'm not gonna lie, this following scene was hella boring and cringe, as the Mammal King is a beaver that's super zesty, getting all the animals to dance and do the twerking.
Oh, hello. What's your name, beaver?
And realizing she doesn't need the professor's help, she turns her location off again, and somehow the other animals aren't sussed out at all that this new beaver out of nowhere doesn't know anything about the rules. And we learn pond rules is pretty much look out for each other, but if you gotta eat, eat. Now, the Beaver King George tries to see the good in everyone, including humans, and it's ironic how Mabel starts shitting on humans, saying that they don't care about others and do whatever they want. Which is very rich coming from Mabel because she does that the entire damn film. And Mabel asks to speak in private.
Oh, so you're one of those.
Look, I'm into male beavers.
Huh?
I'm super gay, okay?
Huh?
I know you love my fat. So Mabel tells him to move to the glade, but he says they can't because of a painful noise.
It goes like rah, rah, rah.
Then George takes her to the glade to prove it, and all the animals cover their ears in pain as Mabel discovers a fake tree purposely set up there by Jerry to create sounds only animals can hear to drive them away. So Mabel climbs it and takes it down, getting rid of the painful sound, allowing the animals to settle back to the glade again. Man, that is one weak-ass fake tree. So she gains all the animals' trust and becomes even more bossier than before, as the beavers then build a dam at the glade and other animals start chilling there again. And no disrespect to the film, but
who the hell cares?
I wonder if there was anyone that watched this scene and was just like jumping up and down going, oh my gosh, yay, there's animals in the glade again. It's like, yeah, who cares? Honestly. Anyway, Jerry gets told the animals are back at the glade, so he decides to do something about it to make sure they leave again. Then we get some boring yapping George origin story of how his dad was a deadbeat that banished him. And by telling Mabel he trusts her, he says this.
I want to ask you something. Can you give me a foot massage? But you stink.
And George asks her to be paw to the king, which is a royal advisor and the heir to the throne. And just when Mabel tries revealing she's not a beaver, they hear an explosion and is told the dam is destroyed by Jerry, and more fake trees with sounds are set up in order to make sure the animals don't come back. And Mabel gets pissed and wants to get back at Jerry, so she orders George to summon the council, agreeing to be paw of the king. And the council is pretty much the king and queens of the bird, fish, amphibian, reptile, and insect kingdom. You know what's funny? I'm seeing their entrances like, is this meant to be tough? Because I don't feel or see aura whatsoever. Now, George clearly tells Mabel that he'll do the talking and she agrees, but the moment the council rejects George's idea, saying it ain't our problem and refuses to help, Mabel can't keep her mouth shut. So Mabel yaps that it's every animal's problem, not just the mammals, and basically describes Jerry as the human king who's the worst evil living thing ever, telling them if he's not stopped, the humans will take and take until there's nothing left and they're all going to die.
You're all a bunch of cowards. How dare you talk like this, you peasant?
But the insect queen agrees and decides on killing Jerry as a result. And it was at that moment Mabel realized she should have just shut the hell up.
Or scare him.
Really? You convinced all the animals that they're going to die if they don't stop Jerry just to say, oh no, but if you scare him, everything will be fine. Really?
And also, do you think if Jerry dies, no highways will be built in the future? The highways are being built because the people want the highway. So trying to fix this issue isn't as simple as, oh, kill one guy and it's gonna be chill now. Because if anything, climate change is, dare I say, impossible to fix. And if Mabel genuinely thought that giving Jerry a little scare would make the world a better place and will fight against climate change,
She just might be the stupidest Asian ever.
girl.
I'm sorry.
Wait, this girl crazy.
I was just joking.
So Insect Queen is like, how you gonna tell us we all gonna die, then switch up when we try to do something about it? And Mabel kills her. Okay, give credit where credit's due. This is the one scene I actually found funny and laughed when it happened. But the scene also makes Mabel into the biggest hypocrite. You wanna talk about how much you care about the weak animals that can't defend for themselves and proceed to kill the Insect Queen? And to make things worse, you rubbed her insides off onto the wall to get it off your hands like you're getting rid of some filth. Yo, look at George's face. He knows they going to die.
Mommy.
Now, turns out the professor and her goons have been watching over Mabel, but when Mabel gets chased, the goons' animal bot gets destroyed, exposing to the other animals that there are fake animals roaming around them. And Mabel and George are able to get away while the other kings and queens of the animal kingdom crash out over the fake animal bots.
You're scared of bots.
Yeah, kinda. Then this chopped caterpillar becomes the new insect king, evolving into a butterfly like he the
Pokemon.
as Mabel finally gets confronted for her bad behavior.
I did nothing wrong.
George?
Murderer.
You killed the insect queen.
I know.
Because of you, my life is cursed. Why couldn't you let me do the talking?
Cause I'm tired of feeling this way.
She actually said this, by the way, that the reason why she killed the insect queen, ruined George's life, or does whatever she wants without caring about anyone else is because she's tired of feeling this way. That her feelings are more important than people and animals. That her feelings are so important that she's not gonna take accountability, apologize, but rather, no, will continue to play victim because of how important her feelings are. This movie is ass.
Mabel just might be the worst Pixar character I've ever seen, and I watched Elio.
Imagine if I said, yes, I killed the queen and I ruined your life, but I'm tired of feeling this way. And because my feelings are more important than your livelihood, I get to do whatever I want. It's like, what?
And what's even more dumb is they bring a flashback of her grandma to try to make us feel sorry for her, but it's like, yo, it's your grandma. And grandma's dying happens to everyone. She acts like her granny died from an extremely tragic event when she died from old age. Like, girl, that's the best way to pass away. And what makes the scene even more dumb is George goes in to comfort her when Mabel ruined his life. So again, Mabel doesn't apologize, take accountability, or self-reflect. Nope. Instead, George pretends like she did nothing wrong and says, I still trust you, let me help you. And Mabel starts ordering everyone around again to get to Jerry before the other animals do. Meanwhile, Jerry reads papers about himself getting glazed as we get to see the inside of his nice comfy home and his daily routine. Hey, yo, why they make his mom's eyes look Asian?
Hello, Jerry mother.
Jerry-san, arigato. So bro continues to get glazed on the news and in public, then he meets the animals, aka
Mabel's goons.
and Mabel uses text-to-speech on Jerry's phone to communicate with him, telling him that he's in danger and he has to drive now. And later, while driving, Jerry gets rid of the animal NPCs, plus the Mammal King. The professor and her goons pull up next to them, and we're introduced to the apex predator assigned by the council to kill Jerry. Yes, I'm sure that when there's clearly less than 50 seagulls carrying the shark, it looks totally believable that a small group of seagulls can actually carry that thing. Totally.
Hello, little I'm gonna rip the shit out of you.
Man, what kind of movie am I watching, bro? This is just ridiculous. So a beaver saves the mare from getting eaten by a shark, swerving the car, and when seeing a device that can make you communicate with animals, Mabel steals that device from the professor and puts it on Jerry.
It's me, the Asian.
Mabel? And once Jerry can start communicating to animals, he's like, oh, I'm dreaming, and just gives up on driving. And you know how funny would it be if Mabel tries saving Jerry's life only to end up killing him sooner?
Mommy Milkies.
And this following scene just makes Mabel even more insufferable, saying she's on Jerry's side and then commands him to cancel the highway, and when Jerry says he can't, Mabel screams he's over here and tries getting him killed.
That's right, folks. When Mabel is on your side, if you don't listen to her in complete obedience, she will try to kill you. That's who she is.
And wasn't she the one against killing him, but now proceeds to try kill him because he doesn't listen?
Somebody got the anger issues.
Please, I'm pushing 60 and I'm not married. But luckily, Mabel's annoying ass finally gets caught and the animal bot is then given back to the professor as Mabel is back to her Asian body again.
You're expelled.
So the poor king that trusted Mabel gets betrayed and deceived, and because Mabel screamed Jerry's location earlier, it's thanks to her that everyone else gets captured by the animals.
Be honest, yo, did any of you watch this film and just went, oh, I really like Mabel? Because I'm starting to think that Disney actually made this film just to make Asians unlikable and look bad. I'm dead ass.
And when Mabel wakes up, we see a ridiculous plot twist that the animals force the professor to make a human clone that animals can hop into. And not just any human clone, a Jerry clone controlled by the chopped insect king.
Thanks, Mabel. I'll make everyone see my nipples.
Yeah, I'm losing re-election. So fake Jerry reveals he's going to use the same device the humans have used on them, but on a sound frequency that will kill them. As he'll first target the people at Jerry's rally tonight, then eventually use it on all humans. This is all happening because Mabel tried helping animals, by the way.
So moral of the story is, if you don't want animals to kill you and take over the world, then don't let Asians be vegans and keep building highways.
Then fake Jerry brings the Mammal King to Mabel, showing her how betrayed he feels and that he doesn't want to speak to her again.
Humans might all die because of you. It's all your fault.
And when Mabel needs to face the consequences of her actions, what do you know? We get another grandma flashback, so she gets to escape accountability again.
Could you imagine I do whatever I want, and when it's time to face the consequences, I just go, oh, but my grandma died. And because my grandma died, you need to feel sorry for me. What? Listen, everyone's grandma will either die or is dead, so what makes literally Mabel so much more special from the rest that because her grandma died that it just shields her and protects her and prevents her from facing any sort of accountability?
So once again, Mabel doesn't apologize or accept her wrongdoings, but instead commands Jerry to use the hopping machine to become the beaver bot.
Please? Fine.
So Jerry hops into the bot and becomes the
Justin Bieber.
Wow, what a crazy coincidence the animals put the hopping device right above Jerry. It's almost like this movie is ass. And later the rally takes place as fake Jerry pulls up while Jerry's mom with Asian eyes be watching. And dude starts acting weird, saying things like, how many of you have killed an insect? And because you have all killed an insect, you all deserve to be killed too. Then Mabel shows up, and that's right, the climax of this film is Mabel just trying to talk her way into changing the fake Jerry's mind with a little speech, talking about how animals and humans can kumbaya together. But what's funny is we know she doesn't believe any of that. She knows highways will continue to be built and more wild animals will be affected by it. So her saying animals and humans can just kumbaya out of nowhere to be used as character development is just not believable or consistent with her character.
I know I kill your mom. Oh, Jerry's mom finally looks white now. Killing her was fun.
Yeah?
If I could go back in time, I'll kill her ass again. Aww.
But fake Jerry isn't buying it, and with Jerry's phone being tossed to the top of a fake tree, fake Jerry starts crawling like a weirdo and easily yeets Beaver Jerry out the way. Wait, so instead of showing up to your own rally as the real Jerry to call out the fake one, you pulled up as a little beaver?
This Jerry's stupid.
Then Mabel unintentionally takes fake Jerry's skin mask off and falls, but somehow doesn't get injured, while the Insect King can't access Jerry's phone because his face card will now always decline. So the chopped butterfly crashes out as the other animals hear him admit he plans to get rid of them too so that only insects can rule. But the Insect King falls off the fake tree, then the bot explodes, creating a severe wildfire, and the council ends up killing the Insect King.
Wow, look at what Mabel did.
You know, maybe the film's trying to say trying to stop climate change only speeds up climate change.
This your fault.
Then Mabel's low IQ having ass uses the jacket her grandma gave to her to try to stop the fire, and when the jacket gets on fire, she starts crying going,
no, grandma.
Then why would you use that jacket to stop the fire? She's like, oh, I used the jacket that my grandma gave me to stop the fire and it caught on fire. No, grandma. What is she doing? Bro, this film is ass. It just is.
Then George pulls up trying to play hero and gets injured, but thanks to plot armor, they escape the fire by getting a ride on a bear. Man, Mabel, why couldn't you just study at a library or something?
This is why Asians can't be vegans.
And to stop the fire, the animals destroy the dam in their main home, which is a fortress for any animals to come when they have nowhere else to go. Meaning, all because Mabel wanted to try help the animals, she ends up making the animals destroy their last fortress to help the humans. And thus, the animals stop the fire before it can reach the city, as one can say Mabel did more harm to animals and the environment than any good she could have ever done.
Wow, the glade's so pretty now. Thanks, Mabel.
And luckily for her, Jerry decides to build a highway elsewhere, meaning Mabel's favorite glade will remain as a glade while another poor glade somewhere else will be destroyed. So why is Mabel happy? Other innocent animal homes are going to be destroyed elsewhere and you're smiling? Wait, so do you actually care about climate change and all animals, or was it just the glade you grew up in?
So other than preventing her favorite place, which is the glade, from becoming a highway, other than that, she has done nothing to solve the issue or fix the problem, because highways will continue to be built, and as long as they continue to be built, other glades and other animals are going to continue to lose their homes. So literally, what is the point of this film?
Seems to me the message of this film is that climate change is going to happen no matter what. You can't make a difference, so don't be an Asian vegan. And after some time, Mabel ends up graduating, as we learn it's thanks to her that the Hoppers program got shut down.
Can you get me a job? How will that help me? I'll give you stress and make your hair fall out.
You're such a cancer. Just know we hate you. And the professor hires her as her assistant despite Mabel being extremely unlikable thanks to plot armor. Because if this was the real world, she would have been expelled from school already after the shit she pulled. And the movie ends with Mabel and George still being friends as George becomes an iPad kid.
Now, I remember watching this movie in theaters, and when coming into the movie, I was actually excited, looking forward to it, going, bro, this is a Pixar film. The main character's Asian. This is gonna be lit. I'm gonna love this film. And by the end of the film, I literally came out of the film going like, damn, like, that might be one of the worst Pixar films I've ever seen, and Mabel might be one of the worst written characters I've ever seen as well. Like, this is just that bad. And after the film, it made me, for the first time, go like, damn, like, I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes anymore. Like, what do you mean this is 94%? This is not a 94% film. It's just not. Objectively, it is not a 94% film. So this is a film about climate change and protecting the animals, but in the end of the film, a highway is still being built, meaning a glade somewhere else is going to be destroyed and more animals are going to still lose their homes eventually. So if you really think about it, it's a really discouraging and dark message, because what it's saying is, oh, you can care about climate change and you can care about animals all you want to, but in the end, you will never stop a highway being built and a glade will be destroyed elsewhere even if you protect this one. And if you really think about it, that's not a happy message or a positive one. So I'm just like, what was the point of making this movie? Personally, I really enjoy films where you can root for the character or at least see yourself supporting the main character, but it's very difficult to do when the main character is extremely unlikable, selfish, aggressive, no humility, no modesty, never takes accountability, and just does whatever she wants to without caring about anyone else. And then says she cares about nature, but then ends up killing the insect queen. It's just like, so many behavioral traits that are just so unlikable. It's very difficult to root for that character. Also, as an Asian to Asian, I just didn't like how this Asian character was being presented and portrayed as a big blockbuster Disney Pixar film. But yeah, that's my take, and I'm really curious to anyone who watched this film and actually enjoyed this movie. I really want to hear your thoughts, so comment down below. But these are mine, you know, feel free to disagree. You don't have to obviously agree with me. This was just my take as an Asian watching a Pixar film where the main character is Asian. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy KC, and yeah, until next time.